I consider these phones like cars. Every year, a new car comes out, but it's not much different than the car from the previous year. You don't go out and buy a car every year. You buy a car every 3, 4, 5 years, maybe even 10 years, depending on what your needs are. And that's where the iPhones are heading or are at. It depends on your needs. Whatever you need, you're going to find an iPhone for it. And depending on your needs, you can decide whether you need the newest, greatest, and the best of them all, or you're better off with a 1 or 2 year old version, maybe even used, because it's going to satisfy all your needs.
Oh, it's the iPhone 16, a dance we've done, with a splash of color under the sun. The same old steps, they don't impress. The darling wears the brand new dress.
The iPhone 16 and the 16 Pro are very interesting devices because on the outside, they look almost exactly the same as the previous years. Well, the iPhone 16 has a little different camera, but nonetheless, the design of the phone is super much like the previous years. They are the best phones. They are the best iPhones Apple has ever made. The sales numbers are lower than usual. And why is this? Well, the reason is because Apple could not wait. They messed it up and they gave us unfinished products. It has never happened before that Apple got ahead of themselves and wanted the device out before it was ready. If you look back to 2020 with the iPhone 12 series, then you can remember that the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro came out in September, and the 12 mini and the 12 Pro Max came out later in October or November. The reason is that they were not finished yet in the factory and they could not ship them. Apple did not finish these phones. These phones are complete when we're going to have Apple Intelligence, and Apple Intelligence is not here yet. I'm pretty sure it's going to be great when we get it, and we have the betas, but even in the betas, it's not what we were promised. It's not what the advertisement is promising for us. Therefore, these phones, as Marques Brownlee said, are unreviewable. In my opinion, and I've been playing around with them for over a week now, these products are exactly the same as last year. We have 2, 3 small little features, and I'm even having problems thinking of what those features are. And while those features are here and they are nice additions, the main focus, the heart of the iPhone is still missing. It's going to be transplanted in with iOS 18.1 partially, and then throughout the year is when we're going to get the phones. Maybe Apple is thinking that they just wanted to get the devices out to people as soon as possible so Apple Intelligence could start all with a bang, but I think they implemented this very, very wrong. iPhone 16 is a great phone. It's one of the best base phones you can buy on the market. The cameras are good. The upgraded cameras are pretty awesome with the new spatial video features. You have macro photography. You have everything from the previous Pro series. That's great. But I still say do not buy the iPhone 16 because I recommend you go and buy an iPhone 15 Pro because you can get it for the same exact price. That is the reason Apple does not sell the 15 Pro anymore, because people would be buying the 15 Pro instead of the 16. It's what they should be doing. They should let the 16 line, the base models, just go away, and they should be selling the Pro models at the base model price the next year. If we get to iPhone 17, we should have the iPhone 17 Pro, and then the budget version or the lower version should be the iPhone 16 Pro. That way, I think a lot more people would be a lot happier. You would get a lot more features, and it would just, save a lot on development costs for Apple because they wouldn't need to be making 4 types of devices. They could be making 2 types of devices. And I think that is a lot better than what we're having right now.
New name, same game, just a different frame. Selling you the past with a future claim. Oh, what's in a name? It's still the same. New iPhone, old game, take the blame.
In terms of the iPhone 16 Pro, that's a phone exactly what I just explained to you with the car metaphor. If you are going into the desert, you cannot go with a minivan. You cannot go with a sports car. You need a Land Rover or a Range Rover or whatever. And the iPhone 16 Pro Max is a phone that if you need this phone for videography, photography, or you have your specific reasons, then you go and you choose this phone and you're going to have a great experience. If you just want the highest end phone, all of the features that you can even think of, there's not much difference between an iPhone 15 Pro Max and iPhone 16 Pro Max. So why would you spend that extra $200-300? Why wouldn't you just get the previous year if that fully satisfies your needs, because the features are almost exactly the same? Yes, we can go into nitpicking. Their screen is a little bit bigger in the iPhone 16 Pro Max, but no one really notices. Yes, the battery life is a little bit better, but not by much. Half an hour maximum, and that's it. In a week of heavy usage, I could not really tell the difference between the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the 14 Pro Max. And because I use both phones, and both phones have SIM cards in them, because I have two phones that I basically use all the time, sometimes I even had no clue which phone was in my hand. I had to check for the camera control button. The camera control button. It's one of the worst design things I've ever used. And I am an Apple fan. I'm an Apple sheep. But it's super finicky. It's super annoying how you use this button. 99% of the people will just take a photo with it if they remember it exists. The other people who try to use it will just get frustrated and will not use it. The animations are not good in there. The selection process is super weird. Double tapping on it, it's just not comfortable at all. I think Apple wanted this feature just to have another feature because they felt that there were not enough features in the new phone to sell it. And the thing is that, yes, these phones get Apple Intelligence. It's not here yet. So all of the focus goes on these features. And because all of the focus goes on these features, all of the bad reviews come out because of the camera control button. Maybe in the future, maybe future software updates will fix these problems. At this moment in time, this is not the case. And no matter where you go on YouTube, what review you look, no one really likes the camera button.
It's got the same old sparkle, same old sheen. They wrapped it up in glossy dream. New year, new name, it's all they do. But it's the iPhone 15 Pro, just wearing a new shoe.
Apple used to have an S line of phones. You had the 4, 4S, 6, 6S, 5, 5S, whatever. They don't make it anymore. They should. Because if any time in the past 20 years, this feels like the most S year of them all. You have only a slightly smaller improvement from the previous year. Yes, the processors are better, but not significantly. Yes, the battery is better, but not significantly. Yes, the camera is better, but not significantly. We get features that the average person doesn't really want to use. Only people who want something like that, who need it for something, will buy this phone, especially the 16 Pro Max. If you want to make 120 FPS videos in 4K on your phone and you need it for something, then this is the phone to get. Otherwise, it's not really a thing. What did surprise me, though, was that the difference between the 16 and 16 Pros in terms of performance is super low. They are closer than ever before. So if you are a base model upgrader, then the 16 is a fantastic decision. But then again, what I've said, so is the 15 Pro. So why not go for a 15 Pro? You get more cameras, you get 120 hertz refresh rate, you have all the benefits of having a Pro phone on you, other than you really want the beautiful colors, because that, I have to say, especially this teal color, is one of the most beautiful iPhone colors I've ever seen in my life. So what do I say about these phones? Well, I think they're great. They're the best iPhones that I've ever used in my life. They're fantastic. But unless you are an iPhone 12 or 13, I would not even think about upgrading to these, and even then consider the previous generation Pros. That is the case with these things. I truly hope I helped you with this. This is my review of these phones after a week or a week and a half. I'll continue to use the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and I'll send back the iPhone 16. With the 16 Pro Max, I'll keep you updated. I'll tell you what's happening and what kind of updates come to the camera control button. And we'll see. And we'll see where Apple takes this. We'll see where it takes it when Apple Intelligence arrives, because that is the heart of the phone. That is what is important about this. Until then, it is an unfinished review, and you cannot really talk about these phones because it's not finished. It's not full. It's not the phone that we were promised. And I'm inclined to believe Apple that when Apple Intelligence arrives, it's going to be really good. So I want to give them a shot like that, because this, no.